Recursive factorial. Now let me check one example for the recursive factorial, which is example number 3. Def of calculate factorial of x. If x equals to 1, return 1, else return of x times calculate of factorial of x minus 1, number equals to 3, print of factorial of comma number comma is comma calculate factorial of number. When you run it, you will get factorial of 3 is 6. Now with the help of the recursive factorial process, we can directly take the factorial of any value. We are going to use the define function here. We have used define function. So the name of the define function is calculate of factorial. Calculate of factorial. Now the name of the define function is calculate factorial. You can give any name. You can simply put factorial. You can simply put calculate. It is up to you. The define function is just the name. So you're going to have calculate of factorial of x. And then put colons, press the enter button. Your new line will start from here. Now we have passed the conditional statement here. Conditional statement says that if x equals to 1, return 1, because factorial of 1 is 1. So if x equals to 1, return 1. If it is not the case, if it is other than 1, then apply the second condition, which is else. In the else, we have return of x times calculate factorial of x minus 1. So what is x? X is that specific value. Calculate factorial of x minus 1, then decreases by 1. So the number, the variable has been represented with the name num. Num equals to 3. If you put the 3 here, and then take the print of factorial of comma num comma is calculate factorial of num. So this factorial of is because of this. And num, what is num? Num is 3 here. For the num we have 3. Is, this is here. Calculate factorial of num. Calculate factorial of num will be 6. The factorial of 3 is 6 because we have 3 times 2 times 1. So it decreases by 1. X minus 1 means decreases by 1. Therefore, factorial of 3 will be 3 times 2 times 1. That's why it is called recursive factorial. It is in the other way around. It is coming from the opposite side. It is in descending order. But you will have the same answer. It is exactly the same thing. You don't worry. We just decrease the value by 1. Like we have 3 and then decreases by 1. So we will have 3 times 2 and then decreases by 1. We will have times 1. 3 times 2 times 1. It will be 6. So the answer will be 6. Similarly, if you put the number 4, factorial of 4 will be 24. Because 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. It equals to 24. So there is no difference in the output what we saw last time in the previous examples. But during the recursive process, we just go in descending order. We are decreasing. If you want to find the factorial of 5, you just put 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Because x is decreases by 1. This is the formula for the recursive factorial. Let me repeat it again. What I did, I used define function here and I gave the name calculate factorial. It can be any name. It's just the define function name. So calculate of x. What is x? X is that specific number. Then I passed the conditional statement here. I have two choices. One is if and the other is else. So in case if x equals to 1, then return 1 because factorial of 1 is 1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect it. So in case if x equals to 1, just simply return 1. This will be the answer. The factorial of 1 is 1. So simply 1 is the answer, therefore return 1. But what if it is not the case? If it is other than 1, like 2, 3, 4, what's going to happen? The program will jump to the second choice here, which is else. In the else, we have the formula, the recursive factorial formula, which is return of x times calculate factorial. What is calculate factorial? This is the name of this. You have to put exactly the same thing. Calculate of factorial and then into x minus 1. What is x? X is that value. It decreases by 1. And then if I put num equals to 3, I simply give the variable name num to the value, to the x value, to that value, and then tell the print of factorial of num is calculate factorial of num. it will show you the factorial. This factorial of from here up to here, this factorial of is because of this red line, factorial of, and then comma num. For the num we have 3 here because num equals to 3. Is, this is because of this red is, and then comma, calculate factorial of num. Calculate factorial of num. What is num? Num is 3. So factorial of 3 is 6. Look, this 3 decreases by 1 here. 3 times 2 times 1. If we have 4 here, it will be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So it is in the descending order. Last time we were going in ascending order. It is exactly the same thing. The answer will be the same. Factorial of 3 will be 6. Factorial of 4 will be 24. Factorial of 5 will be 120. So I hope it is clear by now.